welcome. I am very pleased to see you all here today. My name is John Paul Kleiner. I am the DAD representative here in Canada. If those of you who are perhaps in the US, welcome. I work closely with our colleagues there. And I have two representatives of the University of Cologne who will be presenting here today. First, Peter Haase. Peter is the head of admissions with the University of Cologne's international office. Is that correct?
Correct.
Good.
Correct.
Good.
Thank you.
Glad I
Thank
got
you
that
very much.
correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good to have you here, Peter.
Thank you. It's
And-
my pleasure. Hello to everybody.
Good. And Dr. Eva Bosbach. Eva is a longtime colleague. She works as the director of the University of Cologne's New York office, where she helps promote the university, connect with its alumni in the United States, but also here in Canada. And we work closely together, and it's a pleasure to be doing so again today. Welcome to both of you. Welcome to all of our viewers. And without any further ado, I'd like to hand over to the colleagues from the University of Cologne for their presentation.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Jean-Paul. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to see if I can share the screen with you all. Thank you for joining our presentation. I hope that you can see this. Peter, can you tell me
Yes,
that
everything
it's
is perfect.
visible? Okay, so now I have to figure out. Yes. All right. So we're going to start. Thank you all for being here today. This is about your students or your children's bachelor studies at the University of Cologne, the possibility of that, if you are interested. And we would like to particularly introduce to you a program that we believe is very special and also unique within Germany, that is called Studienstart International, that we basically created for our international applicants. So Peter and me will be giving the presentation, and we also have our intern Cara here in the audience. If there are any questions about student life in Cologne or other student-related questions, we can also direct those to Cara. So first of all, 3 great reasons to study in Germany, in Cologne. You might not need that because you probably already think about this, which is why you are with us today. But we just wanted to point out the security and safety in Germany, and also the open-mindedness, specifically of Cologne, which is known to be a very tolerant and colorful and diverse city, also within the German cities. We also offer an excellent internationally recognized academic training. So I see this all the time in my work here for the University of Cologne, which is based in Germany. But here I'm based in New York and work for the US and Canada here for the University of Cologne. And the recognition, the international recognition here of the academic training from Germany is enormous. And yeah, it's a good degree to bring, or study abroad time to bring on your CV. Finally, I mean, there's many points, but we just picked 3: the affordable cost of living, and the not so hidden secret of the no tuition fees. So we have a little semester fee of about $300, $400 per semester, but that also gives you a ticket to the entire state for the trains and the rest of the public transportation, and access to all the university sports and so on. So you get a lot for that small fee, which of course it's no comparison to the tuition fees that you would have to pay for college in the US or Canada. And also the cost of living is okay-ish affordable, I would say, in a city like Cologne, which is somewhere between maybe more expensive cities such as Munich or Hamburg. All right, we will tell you today a little bit about Cologne as a city, then the University of Cologne, which you can already see on the right side from both sides. You can also already see basically part of the city, so the famous Cologne Cathedral that is here also behind me, that is the most visited German landmark with about 20,000 visitors every day. So we have that in Cologne, but we also have the University of Cologne. And you can see the cathedral in the bottom right picture there in the top left. So the city is in the proximity of the center. I mean, the university is in the proximity of the center, but at the same time also has a campus. So it's a mix of a city and a campus university, which I think makes it very nice to be at. Then we have the Studienstart International program, and also, of course, some application requirements for those of you who already know they would like to come to Cologne. So we give you some more details on the process. Cologne is also really nicely located on the map. So within 8 hours of a train ride, you can reach the Scottish border, the Atlantic coast of Bordeaux, the Mediterranean in Marseille, the Baltic island of Rügen, Vienna, or I should also add Prague, my home country, is also just a 1 hour flight, or these 8 hours with the train ride. So it's really also nice not just to be in Cologne, but basically it opens you the access to Europe. And I think this is also another benefit for potential students from Canada. All right, next slide. Okay, here you can see the cathedral again, which is indeed a big part of the city, but you can also see our Kranhäuser, some modern architecture. We chose this picture to show the combination of tradition and innovation that is characteristic for the city and for the university. I would say both. It's very, unusual that one of the biggest, if not the biggest university in Germany is also one of the best one in research and in teaching and studies, which the University of Cologne is. So that's a high accomplishment and achievement. And also the city has been founded 2,000 years ago, has slightly over 1 million inhabitants. There's a lot of media, station German media, IT. It's not only the University of Cologne, so there's other universities and universities of applied sciences, over 100,000 students. So that's also, in my opinion, a nice thing. When you are there, you are part of a whole international community of students. So there's also the North American Students Association. So you will find your people because there's just a lot of people and it's also very international. We have research centers and we also have 4 so-called Max Planck Institutes. You might have heard of them. If some of you are looking into research, I would recommend definitely check out our 5 clusters of excellence, so-called clusters of excellence in Germany. Those will be the best hubs for research, but also the Max Planck Institutes. And we also have the European Aerospace Agency in Cologne. Cologne is colorful. We already mentioned the carnival, which you can see on the right side if you joined us before the presentation started. So this is something like a mixture of Oktoberfest and Halloween. People are in costumes, dancing, big party. We call it the 5th season after spring and summer is also carnival. And another fun part of our vibrant, tolerant culture that makes the city and university very welcoming to international students. In the middle, you can see our soccer stadium. So that's another plus in Cologne because we are so big. We have literally all the university sports from Tai Chi and yoga to even the American football team, the Cologne Crocodile, and soccer and ice hockey and the other sports that are probably more popular in Canada. And on the left side, once again, no way around it, the cathedral and the River Rhine and potentially some students in front of it. A few pictures from the university. So I mentioned it's a mixture of campus and city university. You also see the bicycles. So it's a very open campus. There is large green areas where people are bicycling, having picnics, gathering together. There's also libraries, lab spaces, just like at another university, I would say. I don't think we are that special, but what is special is that there is this mix with the other people who live in Cologne. So there's cafes and it's not a closed off campus. Yes, founded 1388, new founded after the French occupation 1919. So we have a long tradition. We are a large, comprehensive university with a lot of degree programs. I think if I remember it correctly, otherwise, Peter, feel free to correct me when I hand over to you in a second. I think the only thing we do not offer is veterinary medicine, architecture, and engineering in a sense of material science, like hardcore engineering. So if you would like to study that, I think your best bet would be the so-called TU9, so the 9 best technical universities. But for everything else, you can come to Cologne. We are a hub for teacher training. We have all the 6 faculties on the left bottom part. So that's, math and science and all the humanities and law and medicine and so on, and approximately 10% international students. So Peter, now I have another part here about the international aspect. Yeah, so we already mentioned the universities in Germany, but we also have these 5 international offices. So I'm based in New York. We also have 2 in Africa, in Ghana and in Egypt, 1 in India, 1 in China. So we see ourselves as a global university with a global responsibility, promoting our studies and research opportunities in the entire world. And if you want to know more about our office, you can scan this QR code, and this would be me and our current office intern here in New York, Cara, who I mentioned is also in the audience. And what we do here in the New York office, this is actually a true picture, no AI here. So this is the German house on the right side with the German flag. I'm sitting right behind one of these windows. You can see the United Nations. I can literally see it now from my window. So we are popular for delegations, scientific delegations, political delegations, first point of contact for any advice on studying or research at the University of Cologne. We take care of our partnership in Canada with Canadian partner universities, US partner universities, other partners. We have a big summer school here in New York in the area of business and economics. We work with our alumni here on the continent, so we would inform them about the university and what's new, and such as our 5 clusters of excellence. We help with the internationalization of teacher education by finding schools, for example, or colleges with German programs. So if any of you works in a school or a college where you would like basically free of charge teaching assistant from the University of Cologne, you can also let me know, or if you would like to partner with us. Then we host a lot of events, so you can email me later if you would like to come on our list. Virtual events, in-person events, workshops, speaker series. We're active on social media, and we help with the recruitment, such as with this event. We invite you to come study to us, or inform your students about this option, but also about research opportunities and postdoc and beyond. I think this would be it from my side. I will hang around, stay around, but for the next few slides, I would like to give the floor to Peter.
Thank you so much, Eva, for the first part of the presentation. I'm happy to carry on. A warm hello from Cologne. It's dark outside already. It's 5:15 in the afternoon. While I'm going to talk a little bit about our study offer. As you can see, if you remember the colors are related to our faculties, our 6 big faculties. And well, I picked some degree courses which we think, or which we see they are likely to pick from international applicants. So I would start from the left to the right with the Faculty of Management, Economics and Social Sciences. Maybe the 2 classical ones would be Business Administration and Economics. But there are, of course, a multitude of inter or multidisciplinary degree courses, such as, for instance, Health Economics, in German Gesundheitsökonomie. Maybe one thing, all our bachelor offer is held in German only. So I will going to tell you about later on about the German requirements, German language requirements. But however, we translated the subjects into English. So health economics addresses topics like, for instance, management of hospitals. This is a combination with that faculty and the Faculty of Medicine, and understands parts like business administration, medicine, sociology, and economy. Information systems, in German Wirtschaftsinformatik, is also an interdisciplinary degree course together with the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences. Here you see, or you work parts of business administration, economics, and computer sciences. And possible questions could be like, how can IT projects be carried out efficiently and successfully? Or, for instance, what role do information system play in business operations? I just picked some of the degree courses, not all the 137, as you can see. Well, the next faculty of law, the study offer is rather simple. I mean, you can study law with the exam with the gold state examination. This is not a bachelor or a master degree. This is a special degree, controlled by the government offices. At our Faculty of Medicine, we do offer medicine, dentistry, and neurosciences. And at the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, there are, well, you can study all kind, well, not all kind, but many kind of languages, of course. Roman studies would be one of that offer. French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, whatever, English studies. Regional study is picked quite often by international applicants, international students. This is also an interdisciplinary degree course, and you see regional aspects, history, you study politics, literature, and currently we focus on 3 regions in the world: China, Latin America, and East and Central Europe. Media studies, Medienwissenschaft is also not just, it's based on that faculty, but it also teaches parts at other faculties, such as the Faculty of Law and the Faculty of Management, Economics, and Social Sciences. And you see, Eva mentioned that before, Cologne is a media city. So especially for students who pick media studies, it's very interesting because all the things you see in theory, about TV, film, theater, radio, but also public administration, marketing, and management, those are things you can quite, really apply in real life at the agencies and organizations in Cologne. Well, the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, this is quite simple. I mean, they offer the common natural sciences, such as computer science, biology, biochemistry, chemistry, and so on. And the Faculty of Human Sciences actually offers degree courses related to the human being. So such as psychology or education science. This is what Eva mentioned already. Intermedia, again, degree course pretty much connected to the media world, also interdisciplinary, offers you or sees, the examination of media at the intersection of media education, media arts, and media culture. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, however, chemistry is not chemistry. If you want to know about our offer, you need to look up the in-depths. Next, please, Eva. And next slide, please. If it works. Okay, it did. So you can look it up at our respective portal and degree programs from A to Z. You need to really look into it and read what's it about, and then you can make up your mind and pick a respective course. Okay, next, please. Yeah, we want you to feel well in Cologne because this is what we have been talking about from the beginning of the presentation, because only if you feel well, you can study well. And, you need to get, in order to feel well, you need to get involved with other students as quick as possible. And what's better for meeting people and possibly making friends than doing sports? So Eva mentioned that already. I will carry on that issue. We offer, the University of Cologne offers a very wide range of sport facilities and opportunities. You can pick almost any sport you can imagine of. And the best thing is it's for free or for a very small fee. So the semester contribution fee, which is mentioned already, that includes, all the big offer for any kind of sport activities. If you're into no, back, please. Still 1 minute. If you're into theater or radio, you will find an offer respectively. And we do have the Collegium Musicum, which organizes classical orchestras. They offer different choirs, jazz for children, modern, classical. So you can participate, or as me, I don't play an instrument, or you can just enjoy concerts or whatever. So there's a big range of cultural activities and sports at the university. Next, please. Studienstart International, now getting back to the academic offer, that special unique program was introduced, if I'm not wrong, about more than 10 years ago, in order to reduce the dropout rates of international students. So as better prepared you are, as more successful you are going to study and finally finish with your studies. It paid off. We did reduce the dropout rates significantly. And I'm going to tell you now a little bit of the content. Next, please. Well, first before the contents, just an overall view. There are basically two models. We have the Studienstart before the first semester, and we have the Studienstart during your first semester. That pretty much depends on your school leaving certificate. I'm going to tell you about a little bit later on. Now, having a look at the content. Next, please. Everybody we enroll, I mean, you have to fulfill certain things. For instance, also language skills, right? You have to have a certain level of German language. However, many of our applicants that did their certificates like 2 years ago, and they've never spoken German after that. So we do personal interviews with each guys of you, and we try to figure out where would you like to improve your German skills. So we pretty much look at your individual needs. We offer technical language, German for medicine, German for law, for instance. Intercultural awareness, maybe, well, Toronto, Canada is pretty much international. Maybe you don't need that so much like other nationalities who come to Cologne. But however, for some of you guys, it could be new, like being in an international crowd, studying together, people from all over the world. And there are some intercultural issues we tell you, and we practice together in order to understand a little bit better the topic. Subject-specific study skills. This is something. So we teach, or we tell you, we work together aspects like how to address to a professor, how to prepare for a consultation, how to write proper emails. You probably heard about the informal or formal way to address to someone in Germany, do and see. So this is an issue still at university. You don't have that in English. So orientation, of course, how can I find that building, where they sell food, the library and stuff. This is pretty basic. We offer a course, authorities competence training. Well, this is even sometimes difficult for Germans to understand that kind of stuff. If you get a 3-page letter from an office, I have to read it twice to get really the point. So we teach you some tips and tricks for this special environment. Part-time jobs is a very important issue. Almost everybody I know, or also when I was a student some years ago, everybody had or have part-time jobs. This is not only because of the money, but this is also for, especially for foreigners, to improve your language, to acquire or improve social skills, to get more self-confident. Well, and money, of course, at the end, to help your parents, who are the ones who are financing, basically your studies, to help your parents in that way. Subject-specific courses are courses related to your future study field, and the credit points you earn, of course, you can take over to your regular study. Intensive support, logically, and we don't meet you just once at the beginning of the semester. We need you at the beginning, in the middle, at the end of the semester. We offer information sessions, and we offer, for instance, a buddy program. This is where we pick like students from the higher semester, and you go with him or with her together for coffee or walking around the campus, asking him or her questions, what's about everything you can imagine. And this is like in an informal way. So nobody of us is like watching you. This is where the two guys of you really where you can address questions related to Cologne, to in general, to study life, to your buddy. Next, please. Well, if you remember the two ways of Studienstart, the pre-semester and the semester during the first semester. So if you're likely to do the pre-semester, this would be our alternative to the Studienkolleg. Some guys of you need to do a Studienkolleg. Later, I explain exactly what it is. So the advantages for doing that alternative in Cologne would be it's only one semester and not two. We don't charge. There are no tuition fee, no semester fee, no extra semester fee for that Studienstart program. Everybody pays the semester contribution fee, if I mentioned that already. So if you are in Cologne for the pre-semester, you don't need to move again. You are already in Cologne. You already got to know friends and people, and your degree course is guaranteed. I mean, this is a big difference to a regular Studienkolleg. You don't have to apply again. You have your degree course guaranteed. This would be for the pre-semester. Next slide, please. And overall, we provide information, we teach you skills, we help you to network properly in Cologne, and we also empower you. I mean, our students who made it to Cologne, who studied German, who went through the visa issue, who were looking for a flat. I mean, this is something, and we think it's really necessary, and it's good to hear that also sometimes, right? So, and normally in sessions like this, we do invite students from higher semesters to support us, because it's very important what your target group is telling about studying in Cologne, and not the elder ones, the staff. We didn't find for today someone, but this is where we invite, invite students getting through the Studienstart to help us in future sessions, making marketing for our program. Next one, please. Application requirements. Now it's going to be a little bit technical. I try to make it brief. So by law, we divide our degree courses we can offer. We have two procedures: a main procedure for Germans, EU nationals, and equivalents, and we separate by law 7% of our degree courses for applicants from non-EU nationals. For medicine and dentistry, only 5%. And again, depending on your school leaving certificate, you either have to go to a Studienkolleg, where we offer an alternative in Cologne, or you have a straight access to university. Next, please. Basically, you need three things to study in Cologne, in Germany and in Cologne, while your school leaving certificate. Either you go to a Studienkolleg or not. In the database, you find behind the QR code, you can find that in most provinces and territories, you do need to go to a Studienkolleg, but in Ontario and Quebec, i.e., there mostly school leavers have a straight access to German universities, right? So if you're interested, I invite you to get in touch with me, and we have to figure out your special personal case. Where are you doing? Where are you going to school? Which kind of certificate you are achieving, and then I can inform you precisely on your way to go. So depending on that, you do either a pre-semester or you do the Studienstart during the first semester. You need to know German. I mentioned that already. All our offer would be in German. You need a German language level around the C1 level. It could be test stuff, 4 points in each competence. It could be other certificates. This is also quite individual, what kind of German degree you are earning. And this is particularly for Cologne. You need a test as certificate with a minimum percent rank of, for most subjects, 40% and a little bit more for other subjects. Something special for Cologne, we don't look at your converted degree from your high school. We only look at the test as result, because our philosophy is that school systems around the world are very different. And the test is a certificate which they offer all around the world at the same days, the same content. And so this is for us pretty, much more fair than looking at the converted notes of the degrees. Okay, next, please. Some details about the test as. It's a cognitive study ability test. It's a test of around between 3 and 4 hours. It has 2 parts. The first part, you have to the specific module you pick depending on what kind of degree course you're going to choose. It's on the next slide, but we stay here for a moment. It's a test they don't offer every 2 weeks. So you have to look in advance. It's offered 3 times a year. So you have to look up dates and test centers and have to make an appointment well in advance. In Canada, I found 2 test centers. However, in the US, there are more offers, and I picked some cities more or less close to Canada, in my opinion. I'm not wrong. Okay. So again, the test, you need to prepare that well in advance. So this is what I was starting to mention already. It depends, the subject-specific module depends on the degree course you are picking. This is more or less the same like if you apply for a Studienkolleg. So don't just do any module, but inform yourself, and we tell you which module you have to pick. 40 is the minimum for most of the degree courses, with the exceptions: biochemistry, biology, and a big exception upwards, medicine. Medicine maybe is one of the most competitive degree courses in Germany, so that's why the level is quite high, and you have to be really, really good in order to get a degree, a place for human medicine or for dentistry, the same. Next, please. Okay, I think we skipped that. EU nationals. It could be if some of you guys have a second EU passport, then everything I was just mentioning about application issues, testers, and so it doesn't count. You will go in a different procedure. So if one of you guys do have a second EU passport, or if one of you guys is married to a European person, just get in touch with me, and I'm happy to explain you about the other application procedure. Okay, we skip that. We skip that too. And this is the overall page for looking up our, the different procedures for applying at the University of Cologne. You get into the Bachelor section, and then you get, you pick EU or non-EU, etc. And of course, each page is connected to a form or with our email addresses, and you can get in contact with us if you have any further questions about that. Application deadlines, this is very important, and we are very strict. We are a big university, one of the biggest ones in Germany, and there is just no exceptions. I mean, there are lots of people applying, and you have to obey the deadlines, which would be the 15th of January for the summer term. This would be for everybody. Will you send the presentation around? Of course. I mean, it would be a pleasure to share the presentation, or at least the admission part. Eva, we can discuss that later. So the 15th of January would be the application deadline for everybody who are doing the alternative for a Studienkolleg, and 15th of July would be for the ones holding a straight access to German university, roughly. Accommodation, this is maybe the only point which is a little bit serious, but it's not only in Cologne. Most of the German cities, study cities, they kind of suffer of the problems that there is a lack or not sufficient cheap accommodation right at the beginning. So we do have student dorms, of course, but if you remember what Eva said, there are like 100,000 students in town, and we don't have 100,000 student dorms to offer. So we recommend to everybody to start early, to get on the waiting list for a student dorm, to use your networks or to build networks. Maybe you have a friend of a friend of a friend who offers a free sofa for the first weeks. So everybody, all of our students studying in Cologne, they do have a room or a bed, right? But sometimes at the beginning, it could be a little bit bumpy. And that's why please start well in advance and get in contact with us. And we advise you what would be like the best way, to find appropriate accommodation in Cologne. Something to read, the DAD is publishing loads of brochures, and I would recommend you especially a brochure which is also for parents. I mean, questions for parents, because parents are the ones who at least decide 50% of the thing with you together, right? So you can inform yourself about general issues about studying in Germany. I'm sure Eva or John Paul, you do have that kind of brochures in your offices. This is like an offer. You can download it. You don't need hard copies. And this is about it. Those are our contacts. We both have, of course, Instagram accounts. And Eva, I would say thank you in the name of the both of us, and we would be happy to receive some questions. Thank you so much. We would be happy to see some faces too, but you don't have to.
Yeah, feel free to turn on your videos. Thank you, Peter. And as I mentioned in my part of the presentation, we also have Cara here. Thank you for turning on your camera. So she's a current student at the University of Cologne and also interning here in our North America office. So you can also ask her question, not just Peter, who is located in Germany at the university, or me being here in New York, not so far from Canada. We may have some questions in the chat. I have not checked. Will you send the presentation around? John Paul is answering. You can certainly email me if you like to receive it. I'm just going to put my email in the chat. And then I can send you a PDF of the presentation for sure. And I think sure everybody will receive the recording. I see several hands. Manuel, please go ahead. Camera disabled. So we might need a technical support from Jean-Paul for that. Looks like people are not.
They can't turn on the cameras, Eva. They aren't able
can't.
to.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry.
But can you? I'm sorry. Sorry for my comment.
So, but okay. Can you unmute? Can they unmute? Can you ask your question, Manuel?
I think they're only able to use the chat.
Okay, so we will read from the chat. Sorry about that. What would you recommend?
Sorry,
what?
We can give them the right to unmute. I can do that if we want that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, yes, if you can, please. In the meantime, maybe we can take Silvana first. What would you recommend for someone that hasn't reached level B2 or C1, and what path would you recommend to take in position of grade 12, probably of high school? Peter, what would you say? Somebody who hasn't reached that, I guess, language level, B2 or C1 yet?
Yes, well, we don't have preparatory German courses anymore. We used to have them, we don't have them anymore. So if you reach B2, you're very close to reach C1. It's just a little bit of practice and a little bit more of German classes. Well, you need to carry on your own, right? You could apply for a language course, just any language course in Cologne. That's possible. I know there are visa also for that. And then after maybe a couple of months, start the process of applying at the university. Because of course, I mean, we couldn't give you a guarantee that after reaching the C1 level, we could take you for a degree course. That would be a little bit of a risk, or just carry on with German in Canada or wherever you are, trying to get the C1 level. Yeah.
I can also maybe mention Duolingo. Like my daughter does free Duolingo lesson every day, and she pretty much taught herself French in like 3 months in the basic writing and speaking. They're very good by now. So I recommend Duolingo to everyone. Do your lesson once a day or more. Also, there's online courses such as the Goethe Institute New York offers online German classes that you can do from anywhere. And I know there's also DAD scholarships for German classes because my colleague here is having the selection of the applicants. So check the DAAD, German Academic Exchange Service, DAAD, for offers, to go to a German university for a language course. Also, maybe you could layer that. You could do that course for a semester. I don't know how long they are, but I think they're a semester, and then apply for your study. I see several people trying to talk. Oh, now there's the next question. Okay, I'm going to read it aloud for now. I have been informing and preparing myself for months already about the entire application process. Yes, sorry, it's quite complex. I was able to obtain my DSD2 equivalent, perfect, a couple of weeks ago. I already presented test as, currently waiting for the results of it. Is there any further advice or remarks that could be done so that I can send the best application possible, Peter? So DSD2 is there, test as results are going to be there. So what else could improve the application?
It sounds really good, and I couldn't imagine of anything else you would need. I guess you are applying for the summer term, for the pre-semester. Well, I can write my email address in the chat also. Get in contact with me. But the thing is, I didn't mention the way of applying. That would be via Uni Assist. This is like an agency in Berlin. Everything is digitally. You don't need to send hard copies anywhere. Well, the application portal for the summer term is open. You don't need to be the first one, but please don't miss the deadline. This is important, right?
So the systems can crash, so maybe not last minute, right? In case the website crashes
maybe
or
not
something.
At the very last minute of the last day. Yeah, that's a good recommendation.
What time would be what would be the deadline for Studien college?
January 15 for this. Well, for Studienkolleg, I don't know, but for our
Probably they mean the
alternative,
Studienstart, yeah.
Studienstart, yeah,
I hope,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's like, there's two different ones, right? Depending on the subject?
Well, the Studienstart International, this is our alternative for the Studienkolleg. Of course, you are free to pick any Studienkolleg in Germany, and if you achieved your straight access to universities, because if you need to go to a Studienkolleg, you won't be able to apply straight to any German university. So if you went to the university and if you finished successfully, you are free to apply for the straight way, the straight path at the University of Cologne. But you know, our unique selling point would be the alternative for the Studienkolleg. And so get in contact with me, and I'm happy to explain you that again. If the presentation, I do believe, you know, this is very much information at a very compressed time, but we will be happy to explain again.
Peter, do you still offer those Zoom consultations? Because Manuel is
Sure,
also asking if
sure.
he can get in touch with the phone, maybe email you then and make a plan.
Yes,
Would be good.
email me, and I try to help you to make an appointment, either with me or with
Thank
my
you.
colleagues. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I'm going to read the next one. My son is in Bad Honnef in Germany since April 2024, completed his pathway, the Studienkolleg, visited several times the University of Cologne for getting bachelor's in business administration. Can you please help in his case? He attended the webinar today as well. So the question here would be what help he needs. If he basically attended the Studienkolleg already, that would mean that he should have gained the
Straight
admission, like
access.
a straight
Yeah,
access, and he is
yeah.
interested in the Bachelor of Business Administration. So can you comment on that maybe?
Yeah, it's business administration is one of the few subjects which is offered at winter term and at summer term. So he could apply in summer and at winter, 15th of January, 15th of July. And if he doesn't have a second EU passport, he has to, you didn't mention the test as he has to do the test as certificate. And if
Even when he already went through the Studienkolleg?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is mandatory for everybody holding a non-EU passport, and you have to. Your son has to prove German language skills. One of the certificates which are mentioned on our page. But please get in contact with me, and I will be happy to explain you that in detail again.
Yeah,
Sure.
and we are sorry again that it looks like you guys cannot like unmute or show your cameras, so we have to work with the chat.
I feel so
Apologies.
bad about my comment, because sometimes we do see that, right, in presentations that nobody opens the camera, but now you can't. Well,
you can't, so it's
so
not your
sorry
fault.
for...
So sorry about that. Yeah. You will have to bear with...
Dr. Bosbach, I think the microphones
Good
are
evening,
open.
this is Kathleen.
Nice. Now it works. Okay, perfect. So let's go one by one. So Catherine, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to you all. See, I'm from India, and as I mentioned, my son is in Bad Honnef, Germany already. He's completed his pathway Studienkolleg in March 2025. And since then, one of the universities probably is not be able to further take it up for bachelor's. Best reasons probably it is that there's some kind of I cannot mention that basically, but probably you must be knowing already. So he was supposed to continue, but the university is still not started in Bad Honnef. Neither any information has been given to him, though he's there in Bad Honnef, and we figured out about University of Cologne, and he did visit several times. Probably he's given his number and the email ID, and he was also informed saying that he will be sent an email, but it's been 2 months, that's still not been happened. So if you can help us to go further with the student, with the University of Cologne for bachelor's, or advise us what the best we can do for my son. Thank you.
Write me an email. I promise you. I have. Yeah, I promise you. You don't have to wait 2 months. I don't know what happened. Yeah, sometimes you know, people interested in studying pick any email they find from the University of Cologne. They never reach us. Everything could have happened. I don't know, but I promise you, I will answer you as quick as possible. And you can explain me your case again. We can Zoom or whatever, and we try to help you out, because I think this is a kind of a special situation you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's little disturbed in a sense, like, and we told him, I said, everything is going to be fine soon, so do not worry. So he's expecting, good news from University of Cologne only.
Okay, but in order to give you good news, I have to know your case, and I have to look it up.
I'll send you an email tonight
yes,
itself.
Please.
The entire details, and thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
Sure, and the email address is in the chat.
It's still in the chat. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I see it there. So we can maybe proceed with the next question, which would be by actually David, who wanted to unmute. And then we go to Dagmar. David.
Thank you. Thank you for this session. I just put my question in the chat also. This has been very valuable. I'm here at a high school in New Jersey, and I know we have students that may be interested. And also my son is highly interested in studying political science in Germany. For this particular program, it seems like there are limitations for those that have EU citizenship or German citizenship, if I understood you correctly earlier. But it also seems that this is an ideal program for students that wish to avoid the full year of Studienkolleg.
Well, if your son is a German citizen, okay, right. So, well, no, I start differently. Political sciences is not offered on the bachelor level. So we do have master courses, political sciences, but at the bachelor level not. At this faculty, at the offered bachelor degree courses, you will find parts of political sciences, right? But there is not a special degree course, a special bachelor political sciences. So your son, I can't, it's a long list of requisites from Canada, depending from which kind of region you come from. Depending.
This
on
is New Jersey, Peter. This is US now. David said New Jersey.
Okay, so you are supposed to go to you have a high school. He's going to high school.
Yeah,
he's going to do a high school. Okay.
He's in 12th grade in high school.
Okay, so if he's doing the AP, if you can help me out, if he's doing the APs and all that stuff. So if the high school degrees fulfills all the details necessary, he doesn't have to go to a Studienkolleg. He will have a straight access to university. If someone from the long list, and I'm happy to send you that list, if something would be missing, he should go to a Studienkolleg. Now, unfortunately, because he has a German citizenship, this is our preferred speech mark topics, we can't offer him the alternative of the Studienkolleg at University of Cologne. So he should go to any Studienkolleg in Germany and then apply with the complete direct access at University of Cologne. But at this stage, I couldn't tell you whether he has a straight or a direct or an indirect access, because it's the requisites of the high school school leaving certificate. This is very complex, and there are lots of things to think about.
Yeah, basically, David, if you email me and remind me, I can send you. We have a very nice document by our colleague Hanne Geist from the DAD in San Francisco, who actually set up this meeting or helped set it up together with Jean-Paul in Toronto. and it lists exactly the APs that are needed and which subjects. And so I'm just actually looking it up for my own daughter also. So there's basically two ways with the US high school. Either you fulfill all those AP requirements, and there's 5 of the APs that you will need in order to be able to study directly any subject, or if your son already knows he wants to do either humanities or natural sciences and management, then it's 4 only. If you don't need the full access to all subjects, just like the specific. Or if he might not be able to get that anymore, if he's already, you say, 12th grade, and it may be too late to try to get all these APs, then there is the Studienkolleg Weg, way right now for him. So, and we're working on it, and we're trying to get this changed. But at this moment, with a German or European passport, it would not be possible to join the Studienstart International. So those would be basically the 2 ways. And then the almost B2 in German. I don't know how you look at that, Peter, if he also is a German citizen, or how does that?
No.
No, you need a certificate.
Yeah.
Is there?
Even for German citizens, yeah.
No, I appreciate all the information. I know that the Studienkolleg is different in different states. Hamburg seems to be a little easier, I've noticed, but this has been tremendously valuable for other students that we have here at Tenafly High School. And being the advisor of the German Cultural Club, fantastic. And thank you all so much for your time and information.
Sure.
Please
We'll be happy.
I'll
be happy to
David.
get in contact. I'll be also happy to send you the information by Hani, so you have it on hand, because I notice right now with my old daughter, you really need to start informing the students in 9th grade to start planning those APs. And Jean-Paul, we have one more question, but maybe we don't have time.
We don't have time, I'm afraid, but I'm going to invite Dagmar to reach out to you directly. Dagmar, you will find Eva's email earlier in the thread. I'm really sorry to do this, but I have another webinar that I'm hosting. It provides other options for bachelor studies in Germany. I'm going to put the link in here. If you wish to join us, you can hop on, but I want to thank all of you for attending, and for all of you from the Uni Köln, including you, Clara, back in New York. I think this has been really productive and useful, exactly what we want to see. So I hope that this bears fruit for all involved. As I say, I'm going to pop this link in the chat. Join us if you wish. You'll be hearing from us.
Please get in contact. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you all. And thank you, Jean-Paul. Thank you, Cara. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Bye-bye.